Hi ma'am, it's Dominic Pacamara and here's the Bsba Marketing 2E presentation.
Although there is no single definition of superstition, it generally means a belief in supernatural forces, such as fate, the desire to influence unpredictable factors, and a need to resolve uncertainty.
OMG, there's a cat. My grandma said that when you see a black cat, it means bad luck or something bad might happen.
Oh, really? Then we should go home right now and stay at home to prevent the bad luck.
Then, let's go.
In this way, then, individual beliefs and experiences drive superstitions, which explains why they are generally irrational and often defy current scientific wisdom.
You know, it's very bad, okay? Don't do that again.
I'm just sweeping the dirt in our house.
No, don't do that again. You know, it's very bad, okay? Don't do that at night. Do it tomorrow morning, okay?
Is the use of scientific knowledge for practical purposes or applications, whether in industry or in our everyday lives. So basically, whenever we use our scientific knowledge to achieve
Uy, Nico, kumusta?
Oy, Tol, kamusta? Oy, Tol, kamusta?
Ay, kumusta ka dyan, mga pre?
Okay lang. O, kumusta? Anong kalagayan mo dyan? Okay lang ba?
Oo, kasi naman pre. Kayo dyan, kamusta kayo dyan? Okay slim pa rin ba? Ganun pa rin ba, tulad ng dati?
Wala namimiss namin kayo eh.
way back then, the use of communication is through handwritten letter. But now, we can use our phone to communicate.
Hi Pedro, how was your day?
I'm good, how about you?
It's a blooming day. Maria gave me these accessories. It's a lot of necklace, rings, and bracelet. I wanted to barter it for some rice, but I think this fits my fashion these days.
It looks so nice one. I have here as well accessories that handle made from the teeth of some animals. I found in the racks and other one I have here
Fashion
white old
accessories
garment
are a
for
secondary
accessories.
supplement to a user's clothing, which is usually used
What do
to
you
complete
think about
requirement
why
that
we have
completes
this kind
the
of
look of the
accessories?
user.
It is nice,
Adjunct
right?
practice, which includes going to school or a concept of schooling, gain learnings together, also rituals in the death of loved ones.
In the time of Spaniards, Filipino nobles were master of both building, metallurgy, weaving, agriculture, and pottery, among other crafts of the palayok still being used today. Filipinos were already aware of medicinal and therapeutic properties of plants and the methods of extracting medicine from herbs. They already had an alphabetical number system, a weighing and measuring system, and a calendar. Filipinos were already engaged in farming and shipbuilding. The Banawi rice terraces are among the sophisticated product of engineering by pre-Spanish era. Early Filipinos were already engaged in mining and weaving, the Spanish colonial. A most famous ship is the Manila Galleon. It was a Spanish trading ship that for 2.5 centuries linked the Philippines with Mexico across the Pacific Ocean, making 1 or 2 round-trip voyages per year between the ports of Acapulco and Manila. These boats were a part of a new Spain. The product that this ship will trade is some luxury goods, spices, and porcelain. Exchange it for silver. In 2015, the Philippines and Mexico began preparation for the nomination of the Manila-Acapulco Galleon trade. It is rooted in the UNESCO World Heritage List with support from Spain.
Do you know that the Philippine literary production during the American period in the Philippines was spurred by two significant developments in education and culture? One is the introduction of pre-published instructions for children of school age N2. The use of English as medium instruction in all levels of education in public schools. During the American colonization in the Philippines, it took more than 48 years due to the meeting of the Philippines to the U.S. by Spain in 1898. The recognition of Philippines' independence was declared to the world in 1946. Under the Americans' word, the English was taught to the students and it was adapted so that it could grow even more.
This was provided by the Act Number 74 of the Philippines Commission. The same act which established the American public school system in the island. And with the help of the Americans, the knowledge of the Filipinos about technology is increasing.
During the Spanish era, Philippines had already been civilized. One of the purposes is the educational standard of the Spaniards. And they were too strict to the Filipinos. And also, the science was supplied by the early Filipinos because of the Americans and the Philippines.
Yes, because American technology is the reason why Filipinos nowadays is using the new technology of Spanish era. And also, the Filipinos learned how to use the specific way of matter and space before the automatic technology has evolved. These were the technology brought in early to the Philippines.
Hi guys, I'm Janame Granado. Did you know that the Philippines played a critical role in American strategy during World War II? Before the war, the United States had large number of troops stationed on the island. After U.S. forces were defeated from the island, regaining the Philippines became an important goal, especially for General MacArthur, who had been forced to evacuate from his headquarters there in 1942 when the Japanese attacked.
Hi, I'm Joshua Luna. As a continuation of history of World War II, the final liberations of Philippines at the end of World War II released Filipinos from their years of torment. But the recognition of their courage and sacrifices was slow in coming. 75 years ago, Japan officially surrendered aboard in USS Missouri in Tokyo Bay in September 2, 1945. President Franklin D. Roosevelt told the Filipino in December 28, 1941, in this great struggle of Pacific, the loyal Americans of the Philippines Islands are called upon the play of Russia rule. The people of United States will never forget what the people of the Philippines Islands are doing this day and these days to come. I give to the people of the Philippines my solemn pledge that their freedom will be redeemed. The entire source in men and materials of United States stand behind that pledge.
Many people were evacuated from their homes and towns, which caused the separation of family and friends. Many also did not leave their homes because they believe they are safe there. They hear loud explosions of bombs and shouts because of the wounds they have received, criers because they have lost their homes. Everyone should face the attacks and suffer and pray that is over. Everyone should face the result of the war, the change of habits like students learning. There will be feelings and fear all over the environment. Violence that causes students to not attend school. Female students are more affected because they are taken by men behind the school to commit sexual violence, or their parents are prohibited from leaving the house until the situation outside is comfortable. Because of the war, the public debt became large. Purchases and taxes also increased. Military spends of government money are causing to affect schools, hospitals, human living, and other infrastructure in the last time. The reborn of the new Philippines.
Me, it's Marisa. Since the establishment of the new republic, we have learned to use modern technologies. With its help, we gain various capabilities to keep up with other countries. With its help, we also improve the science of productivity and technology capacity that our country has. Human resources development refers to training people in an organization. It involves career development to improve individual or group to become more effective with their assigned tasks.
Hi, it's Veronica. Human resource development is a way of improving the skills of each employee by having workshops, training, and other methods which can make employees more productive. It is also a way of boosting employees' morale. Naturally, employees become happy when they have new learning. They become active in the workplace and consistently adhere company policy and standards.
Hi, it's Karen. The science and technology that country of the Philippines was introduced and shaped by the several factors and influence similar to the history that country has. The advancement of technology and science is always shaped by people and human activities, including internal and external. What exactly is contained in internal and external? Internal has survival, culture, economics, and activities. And external has a foreign colonizer, trades with foreign countries, and internal economic demands. Survival, there is the essence of how science and technology contributes of society is the creation of new knowledge.
Through scientific, methodical experiment and research, researchers have found problems in transportation, networks, rates of exchange, types of investment, and the efficiency of factories.
Hello everyone, let's talk about foreign colonizers.
Hi, I'm Ace. The colonization of the Philippines to the contributed growth of science and technology in the archipelago. The Spanish introduced the education and founded a scientific institution. The study of the medicine in the Philippines was given priority by the Spanish era, especially in the later years.
Hi, it's Benedict. Trade with foreign countries. It is a process of interaction and integration among the people and government of different nations. A process driven by international trade and investment and aided by the information technology. In simple terms, it is the flow of money, goods, information, and people in increasing speed and magnitude of movement. The globalization of the Philippines, in my opinion, has grown since the development of the country. There are a lot of technological and global advances that have gone in the Philippines, and it will eventually reach the goals that have been set.
Hi, it's Katie. Economic activity of a country, relation with other countries, will form a larger economic system, and it is concerned with the effect upon economic activity from international differences, reproductive resources, and consumer preference, and the international institutions that affect them.
Hi, it's Ruby. The Philippines has no problem keeping tabs and adapting to any development of science and technology, applications and integrating such as into their daily lives. There are times that the people themselves are much more advanced than the country and way ahead in adapting and incorporating modern technology. Application than most other people and countries around the globe. Science and technologies policy is the one of the public policies that promotes appreciate finding to advance scientific and technological research and education studies, the impact of science and technology upon citizenry and prescribed regulation and if necessary.
Hello everyone, here's the some created laws related on science and technology.
Hi, I'm Alvin.
Republic Act Number 2067, an act of integrate, coordinate, and intensify scientific and technological research and development, and to foster invention. To provide funds, therefore, and for the other purposes, RA 2067, otherwise known as the Science Act of 1958, this was enacted to integrate, coordinate, and intensify scientific and technological research, and develop and to foster invention, including allocation of funds and other purposes. Here are the other law implemented in the Philippines.
Here are the other laws implemented in the Philippines. The first one is the Republic Act Number 10535, the Philippines Standard Time of PHST Act of 2013. An act increasing the bed capacity of QMMC from 350 to 500 beds, amending for the purpose of RA number HC1 to appropriate funds therefore and for other purposes. The next one is the Republic Act Number 10055, the Philippine Technology Transfer Act of 2009. Meaning an act providing the framework and support system for the ownership, management, use, and commercialization of intellectual property generated from research and development funded by the government and other purposes.
Republic Act Number 10612, the Fast Track Science and Technology Scholarship Act of 2013. This is an act expanding the coverage of science and technology scholarship program and strengthening the teaching of science and mathematics in secondary schools and other purposes.
Hi, I'm Sani. Republic Act Number 8439, Magna Carta for scientists, engineers, researchers, and other science and technology personnel in the government. Meaning, Act 8439 or the Magna Carta for scientists, engineers, researchers, and other science and technology personnel in the government act to expand state support for Filipino science workers and empower their efforts towards the country development. With the help of the laws implemented in the country, our mindset expands, and with the help of them, the development of science and technologies continue.
Next, let's discuss some scientists who help us. Gillian Pormalejo Patena, a Filipino scientist who discovered the breed of calamansi and seedless pomelo, and discovered the micropropagation which established the banana industry in the Philippines. She is also inventor of a leaf bulb cutting cassava.
Lourdes Johnsway Cruz. Cruz is known for her scientific contribution to the field of biochemistry, particularly on the isolation and characterization of the venom called conotoxins from marine cone snails.
Another Filipino scientist which is gave a contributions in histories in terms of agricultural production was Ramon Cabanas Barba. With his research team, Barba devised micropropagation protocols for more than 40 important species of fruit crops, ornamental plants, plantation crops, aquarium plants, and forestries.
Culture. Culture can be defined as the way of life including arts, beliefs, and institutions of population that are passed from the generation to generation. Culture has been called the way of life for an entire society. As such, includes code of manners, dress, language, religion, rituals, and arts. Culture derived from a French term which in turn derived from the Latin colore, which means to tend to the earth and grow or cultivation and nurture. Pagmamano is one of the culture in the Philippines. Mano or pagmamano is an honoring gesture used in the Filipino culture performed as a sign of respect to the elders and as a way of requesting a blessing from the elder. Similar to the hand kissing, the person giving the greeting bows toward the hand of the elders and presses their forehead on the elder's hand.
Origin of kulintang. Kulintang is a modern term for an ancient instrumental form of music composed on a row of small, horizontally laid gongs that function melodically, accompanied by larger, suspended gongs and drums. As part of the larger gong chime culture of Southeast Asia, kulintang music ensembles have been playing for many centuries in regions of the eastern Indonesia, southern Philippines, eastern Malaysia, Brunei and Timor. Kulintang evolved from a simple native signaling tradition, and developed into its present form with the incorporation of knob gongs from Sundanese people in Java Island, Indonesia. Its importance stems from its association with the indigenous cultures that inhabited these islands prior to the influences of Hinduism, Buddhism, Islam, Christianity or the West, making kulintang the most developed tradition of Southeast Asian archaic gong chime ensembles. Typical instrument ensemble of kulintang. Kulintang, agung, gandingan, bagandur, dabakan. How kulintang is performed. The kulintang is played by striking the bosses of the gongs with two wooden beaters. When playing the kulintang, the Maguindanao and Maranao would always sit on chairs, while for the Tausug, Suluk and other groups that who play the kulintangan, they would commonly sit on the floor. Importance of kulintang. Its importance stems from its association with the indigenous cultures that inhabited these islands prior to the influences of Hinduism, Buddhism.
Good day everyone, I'm Nicole Agustino Bansag from Bsba Marketing Team. We all know Filipinos very smart, resourceful in everything. Reliable, most of all we are envied by everyone. Filipinos thought and tried to invent a tool that can help in daily life. They also developed alternative ideas in explaining various phenomena and in explaining the world around them. This system is called the indigenous knowledge, foundation of indigenous science. Throughout history, indigenous people have been responsible for the development of many technologies and have substantially contributed to science. Science is the pursuit of knowledge. Approaches to gathering that knowledge are culturally relative. Together, they contribute substantially to modern science. Technology is constantly advancing. This gives rise to new jobs and industries such as coding and artificial intelligence. Technology provides makers education in AI, IT design, and many system fields. All of this is beneficial because it's estimated that AI will replace 40% of jobs in the future.